And we are back, ladies and gentlemen.
Is that the right one?
No, that is not the right sound. But it is time for the kayfabe issues, the best part of the show. Gunner, please play my intro.
I think this is the right one. That's not it.
That's not it. Oh, that's net.
Oh man, you are getting buried tonight, aren't you?
That isn't it either. Hold on, wait a minute. I think it might be this one. I think I got it right this time.
Really waiting for Cars theme to start here.
Can you just hit my sound?
Get my bags! Get my bags! Oh, you were not aware of this? Your posterior better contact someone at once!
Now I'm not even in the mood to do this. It's time for the kayfabe issues, and we're kicking it off with... Oh, you son of a bitch. We're kicking it off with What's the Word? The way this works is I will read a sentence, and one of our esteemed panelists, or maybe NetJester if I feel like it, will finish that sentence. We'll start off with Omega BR. Please finish this sentence. The pay-per-view last week was...
If you mean SummerSlam, it was, bright. It was brighter than I thought it would be. Some of the mid-card matches really kind of impressed, like Del Rio and Christian. And even Cena Bryan, despite everything that's happened afterwards. But, I thought it was a bright spot.
Alright, and Dante. The sentence is, the pay-per-view last week was...
I'm going to go with gut-wrenching, because, it started off with that Ring of Fire match, which was gut-wrenchingly awful, and then it went to the main event, which was gut-wrenchingly tense, like I was just on the edge of my seat. I was doing the yes and the no, standing up. I was marking out. I was a little kid all over again. And then, of course, we get to the grand finale, which was just ripped out my heart and stomped on it, and it just completely messed with my emotions. And, it just reached in, twisted my heart. It put my soul in the crippler crossface.
I'm picturing that in my head now. Gunner, finish the sentence.
This pay-per-view was... phantasmerific. It was interesting. I really enjoyed it. The end was exactly what we expected. However, it was all the feels were still there. I am very happy with the direction of the product, and this isn't the pay-per-view y'all deserved. This is the pay-per-view this company needed.
Thank you, Batman.
Alright, NetJester. Just be quick.
Alright, already. I definitely give this one a 7 overall. It was solid. Definitely loved the WWE title match and the Lesnar versus Punk match. Those were the standouts. Some things didn't need to happen, like the Ring of Fire match or the Divas match, Natalya versus Brie, but what we got that was solid on there was solid.
Alrighty, Omega BR. The Shield being lackeys, which I misspelled and made plural for some reason. Good thing people can't see the format. The Shield being lackeys for the corporation.
You got that wrong again. You didn't even make it plural. It's possessive.
I did twice.
Okay, this entire thing is really confusing.
Well played, Gunner. Omega BR, the Shield being lackeys for the corporation is...
Typical, I guess. Typical that, even though they're the hounds of justice against the system, of course they would be employed by the authority figures, and they really did kind of establish themselves as hounds for hire with Paul Heyman, so it's pretty typical, I guess.
And Dante, the Shield, being lackeys for the corporation is?
I'd say it's almost disappointing because fit the role perfectly. I mean, they've got the boss man outfit, they've got the look, feel, the attitude, but it's like the problem with the Shield is their booking has been really schizophrenic. Well, I shouldn't say their booking, but the way they've handled them. When they showed up, first we got the idea that these guys were renegades. When they showed up at Survivor Series in their match at TLC, they were renegades. They were on their own. They came through the stands. They weren't on anybody's side. And then we find out, they're paid off by Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman and CM Punk. And then that didn't really, and then suddenly, except they're not, they actually are. And it was this back and forth iffy thing. And then for a while we got a rogue thing of them getting the belts and them holding on to the belts. And then we have Vince McMahon giving them his seal of approval. And then now they're just corporate bodyguards. And I guess what really bugs me about the Shield is they put on phenomenal matches. They have good feuds, excellent promos. Everything is right, except just their overarching story. What's these guys' deal? It feels like they're just a tag team with Roman Reigns. Okay, that probably isn't fair to Reigns because
that's incorrect because it's a tag team with Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, actually, that fits better. Roman Reigns gets in. I've seen 2 total spots with Reigns. He punches guys around. He does the Superman punch and he does the spear. That's all and then usually he assists Seth Rollins in tag matches. I feel like they pushed him too early. I would not have brought him up with Rollins and Reigns. I don't know who I would have done.
But it's the look and it's the charisma and it's a few other things too. That's not totally surprising.
That's that.
And his family.
The name of the game is What's the Word?
Yeah,
okay.
Let's move it along. Gunner, quickly, or not, who cares? Shield being lackeys for the corporation is...
completely expected. Why did the Shield work with CM Punk? Was it because A, loyalty? Was it because B, they wanted to be the sex slave to 2 people? One balding and walrus-like, the other looking like a Marine.
No, stop. Net Jester. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Net Jester, yeah, go ahead.
Well, before he said sex slave to 2 bears, you're damn right our asses should move on. But the Shield being lackeys for the corporation is a major step downward for the Shield. I mean, this is scary for me, thinking what they could devolve into now. I mean, if they keep going on this downward trajectory, in my opinion, are they going to be any better than freaking 3MB in a year?
Implying being put in the main storyline as projecting downward.
Yeah, no. Net Jester, once again, you have bad opinions.
Oh, trust me, they're in the storyline, but they're only there as muscle, not really there to move it along.
Omega BR, this is just an in general thing here. I think too much emphasis is being put on
the Wyatt family as a concept. I think, they brought them in and they're this big, intimidating presence and everything. But what have they really done with them? It seems like every other week they do a video package on them on Raw, including this week. And the promo that he did with Sister Abigail was very good. But again, I want to see them do more. I don't want to see them debut just to kind of continue hyping themselves up. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna disagree with you. I think they're kind of going slow with the Wyatt family instead of doing what they normally do, which is push, 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 push. What were we doing? I forget. Let's go do something else. It's like creative has ADD sometimes, where they'll get into something really, really hardcore, and then they'll just completely forget about it and just be like, I don't want to do that anymore.
I can believe creative has ADD.
Gunner, I think too much emphasis is being put on
the fact that Ben Affleck is going to play Batman in the next Batman movie.
I will fucking rape your soul if that happens. And you had... Did you not see the last time Affleck...
It's going to have Superman... It's going to have Superman in it.
Wait a minute, I'm gonna jump in there. Now, what exactly was your problem with Daredevil? I have to hear this.
That movie fucking sucked.
Daredevil was terrible.
But and it was only it didn't have anything to do with Ben Affleck because it was bad. It had to do with freaking Jennifer Garner.
More to the point, Superman is terrible. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you got that right. Anyway, besides our intellectual Omega
besides that,
movie fanboy Gunner, I think I know who the rest of Too Much Emphasis is going to be on.
Too much emphasis is being put on Total Divas. As a show, it's pretty nice. It's actually semi-decent. It's just drama-filled nonsense when you want to put something on in the background and, do chores or something. But it's not anything you're supposed to sit down, popcorn, and actually pay attention to. I understand that they're trying to push the show on our TV so that we can see them and actually do that, but having them booked the way they're being booked, as in everyone together and that AJ thing going on, I'm bored with it, and I don't want to see it on Raw every week. Okay, thanks.
I'm trying to figure out how to hold my... Here we go.
If you're fapping, stop it.
Net gesture.
Yeah, Gunner was right in the second part of his analysis. Total divas. We don't need any more of it. Please move on. And I bring this up yet again for emphasis.
Alright, Omega BR, I wish they'd give more time to...
I guess I'll just say, the mid-card in general. I wish they would give more time to, put it this way, the mid-card outside the ring. Because we know that the primetime players are kind of feuding with the Real Americans, but we don't really have a sense as to why, really. Just because they've been... we can ascertain why with Zed Coulter's rantings and everything, but...
It's because they're black.
Well, but that's my point. I want to see more... Something they just don't do very much anymore is backstage segments involving anybody but, the main focus of the show. You know what I mean? I want to see more of that. I want to see, kind of like the stuff like Fandango keeps interrupting Miz, and, that's kind of stupid, but at least that's kind of a basis for something, right? So, because like I said earlier, a lot of the mid-card stuff, tag teams and such, it really comes off as filler for the show most of the time.
That Foot Locker stuff worked perfectly.
Don,
oh yeah, I'm going to get my spring blades right now.
I think, I wish they'd give more time to.
It's kind of tough. Because I can't really think of anybody. I'm not really sure who isn't getting the attention he needs. Honestly, I wish they'd give more time to Wyatt and give him the time he needs. More actual promo time. He needs matches. Just feed him jobbers. Like, I'm sure you guys have plenty of jobbers in the back. You can dig up Brooklyn Brawler. I'm sure JTG could get another TV appearance.
JTG is still employed.
You took mine, because I was going to say JTG. I wish they'd give more time to JTG.
But just feed, like what? Zack Ryder wants to get on TV so bad. Okay, have him get destroyed by Bray Wyatt. And just a 10-minute beatdown. Because it's like, what bugs me about this is he's got, Wyatt has this whole thing built up in him, but what? He gets the match with R-Truth, where R-Truth taunts him with a dance, and he has that god-awful fire match. It's the biggest taking up. It's like Bray Wyatt is literally flopping for our sins, because it's like he's absorbing all of the LOL WWE screw-ups so that we can have these great Daniel Bryan arcs, and that he's all the fail right now is concentrated into the rise of the Wyatt family, because we have these great promos, we have these great hype, but the matches are poorly booked and planned out. There's no real spots. Bray really, they haven't given him a chance to get over on anything other than his talking. And I've seen him in NXT, but he can get over without talking. His ring work is phenomenal. I mean, I shouldn't say phenomenal, but it's excellent. It's more the fact that Kane just tossed him around in the Ring of Fire match. He never got a chance to look strong, and he had that comedy segment with Rowan and Harper. Just, he needs more time to build himself as a credible threat. And of course, he also needs someone to be a credible threat too, but that's a whole other issue.
All right. I'm going to give you my opinion. Let me talk about Bray Wyatt here for a second. Just so you know, and just so everyone knows, and I'm going to say this now because this is probably what's going to happen. Survivor Series, we will see the return of Kane coming back under the Wyatt family, as brainwashed, and the only person that can save him is, guess who?
Taker.
Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker at WrestleMania 30, and Bray Wyatt will take the Undertaker gimmick. Not the gimmick itself, but as the creepy, quote-unquote, gimmick in the WWE. And the feud it'll either be the family versus them, or it'll be Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker at WrestleMania. And I see this building to that. If it lasts that long, or if they even fucking remember how to fucking do it. But who I want to see more of, Evan Bourne. A healthy scratch, ladies and gentlemen. Evan Bourne.
Is he back? Is he healthy now?
Well, it intensifies.
He has been healthy since June?
Son of a bitch, what are they doing?
They gave him dubstep themes. That was him. Bourne got dubstep theme, or was that Justin Gabriel?
That was Justin Gabriel.
Cape Town Werewolf, sing my song, doo-dah, doo-dah.
I'm still surprised he's not gay. Net Jester, what do you wish they'd give more time to?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure, to be perfectly honest.
Then we'll just move right along.
Bring some people up from NXT.
No thanks. Oh, you mean just bring people up from NXT. WWE. Not I should just mention people for you to be like, yeah, them, give them more time, because
well, how
that's not going to happen. Omega BR. I want D-Bry to get the title back, but it should take at least
I don't know, a month, I guess, which is what we'll have by the time Night of Champions rolls around. I don't know, I just don't like the concept of, they're going to have a decent match at Night of Champions, but it'll get messed up by some last-minute BS, and then they'll have another match at Battleground, and that'll, you know what I mean. I don't... Dragging this out for 3, 4, 5 pay-per-views, I mean... I don't really trust them to be able to do it in an interesting way.
Dante. Want D-Bry to give the title back, but it should take at least...
Give it back to him at Night of Champions, because it's Night of Champions. He'll be a champion. And then we kind of treat it like Stone Cold and Vince in the sense that now D-Bry getting the title isn't as compelling, I think, as the corporation, the entire system, trying to do everything in its power to get that title off Daniel Bryan. And I feel like that would be the more compelling way for this feud, this whole arc to go over, with D-Bry having the title and Triple H doing everything in his power to get it off of him. Although I think we could actually drag it out. I don't want to say drag it out to Survivor Series, because that's a long ways off. I guess drag it out to Hell in a Cell, which is in October. And then at that point, at some point there needs to be a shift where the hunter becomes the hunted. And we get to see the feud with, like, the tables are turned, and now H and friends, because this could freshen it up. Instead of getting Randy Orton to go for the title, maybe he'll have a new guy send after the title. I mean, maybe by this point Ambrose will have going single and he can go for the title. But the possibilities when D-Bry gets his title back are endless. So I think Daniel Bryan should get his title back whenever it works and they've got something new other than Randy Orton getting his rematch, because if this D-Bry Orton thing, so far it's just so empty and it's not working for me. Like, their feud on, like, Raw, the weakest link thing was okay, but right now it's just, I'm really not super psyched for the Night of Champions match, unless Orton decides he's going to go old school and bust out. With this whole angle, I've been really anticipating will be Orton's punt. That's just me. See, but then there's the kayfabe status of that.
I wish to give more time to this segment so Dante could finish his thought.
Mm-hmm. Words.
More words.
Too much of them, darling. Too much.
All right. How much time do we have in the segment?
A lot.
I think we've got 6 minutes and 40.
Left, so we do need to kind of blow through the last of these real quick.
I didn't even get a chance to answer here.
Yeah, I know. Gunner.
All right.
D-Bry to get
I'll
the
be
title
quick
back.
with this. I want D-Bry to get the title back at Survivor Series. Let's see here. There will be a screw job at Hell in a Cell, and Survivor Series is will be the last chance, if you will, for Daniel Bryan to acquire the WWE Championship before he'll never get another WWE Championship match again ever if he loses, or or Orton leaves the company, or he's fired or something like that. Some like ultimatum basically that is put against him because he's tried and failed, and he'll just keep proving himself over and over and over again, basically, to the point where I think Maddox will do something stupid one month. I think he'll earn it. He'll rematch this month. Maddox will do something stupid next month, and then the month after that, it'll be pretty much. The premise for him winning will be, for him competing will be, a null point because of the incident where Maddox fucked up, essentially. And then he'll win at Survivor Series, and then the tables will be turned, and then they'll have to come after D-Bry and try to come get it. And I'll be interested to see if they bring back, if they actually have a team setting, perhaps for Daniel Bryan or something like that at Survivor Series if he wins it before, or if Battleground will be when the team comes in and they have a War Games match like they've been rumoring since the Battleground thing came up, or a whole new concept match, that kind of thing. I digress. Go ahead, Matt Jester.
I don't know, a whole new concept from the WWE. I think that's stretching things a little bit, bro, but about D-Bry getting the title back, I think we should take the really long, torturous route about this and wait until next year, until the Rumble, before he even has a glimmer of hope of getting the title back.
No, that's entirely too long.
The only way I would approve of that is if at some point Triple H turned on Randy Orton, got the title off of Randy Orton, so now he's the champion. D-Bry enters the Rumble from the start and then wins it, and then he makes Triple H tap out at WrestleMania, and then finally the ghost of the Benoit family can rest in peace and get that closure.
You had to throw
How did we
that
get from A
bit.
to B to C
And with
there?
that,
I
followed
totally
that.
missed that.
I followed that. That made sense.
That's pretty much the way Chris Benoit. He won the Royal Rumble, and then he made Triple H tap at WrestleMania.
Cena did the same thing.
Yes, I get the. I get.
There's
where you're
that
going with
familiarity again.
God damn it! Can we just
breeds
go to the
contempt.
drive-thru?
All right, everyone. Strap in your seats. Yankum's paying this time around. We're going through
Dairy Queen drive-thru.
It is time for the Dairy Queen drive-thru, and first up is the ratings. Netjester, will you please read the ratings?
Indeed I will. For Impact, TNA Impact this week garnered a .85 rating with 1.246 million viewers. Now this is down an amazing 13%, as viewership is down 5% from the previous week, 8/15/13 episode, which scored a .98 rating with a 1.32 million viewers. Now, PW Torch noted that it was the lowest rating of a non-holiday episode since May 30th, which was the week they changed time slots back to 9 p.m. Eastern. It should also be noted that this continues to trend of TNA Impact ratings going down on a steady decline since the Destination X free pay-per-view event.
Let me interject real quick. I heard that's actually incorrect. They corrected the rating.
Oh, really?
Due to some incorrect research, it actually averaged 1.246 million viewers. And while the viewership was correct, the final reported rating was wrong. It actually showed a 1.03 rating, actually up 5% from the previous week.
Wow, that's quite a jump.
So
another
jump.
Anyway, to continue, SmackDown. Last week's SmackDown episode scored a 1.90 cable TV rating, up from the previous week's 1.83 rating. The episode averaged 2.572 million viewers, up from the previous week's 2.400 million. On Cable's TV's Friday Night SmackDown ranked number 7th on Cable TV, number 4 among the male demographic of 18 to 34, and number 2 among males 18 to 49. This week's edition of Monday Night Raw drew a final 3.07 or 3.1 cable rating, down from the 3.24 cable rating from the show that show drew last week.
And with the birthdays, Ken, okay, I would like to point out as well that Total Divas beat TNA once again with their ratings.
Oh,
just saying.
Horrors.
Net Jester, 2.400 is 2.4.
It's just 2.4. Yeah. Anyway, with the birthday,
Put the extra zeros in there.
Is there like an LOL TNA audio clip we could be playing for that when we make that announcement?
Yeah, I can get on. Well, we need Vassar to get on that, wherever Vassar is. Vassar, if you're listening, we miss you. Just saying.
Come back.
But in all seriousness, no, we don't have that. If someone would like to send that in to us, that would be great. But since you suggested such a great thing, how about you, Dante, do the birthdays?
Alright, so this is the happy birthday person place thing I'm leaving on the program. So this is for the week of August. August 27th, Jazz, The Great Khali, Milano Collection, AT, and Sergeant Slaughter. So they're all their birthdays. Ricky Reyes, Christina Von Eerie / Toxine is 28th. 29th is Kazarni / Sin. 30th is Scott Stanford. 31st is perennial Woo favorite Jeff Hardy. And Alexis Lurie and Tank Toland. And then we go into September. September 1st being the birthday of Bam Bam Bigelow and Sandy Callahan. Flyboy Rocco Rock. Douche, Jimmy Snuka Jr., and Doug Williams. So September 1st is a pretty star-studded day, I guess. And September 2nd, we got... Whatever. September 2nd, we got Joey Legend and Tracy Smothers. And then September 3rd, we have Puma and TJ Perkins.
At this point, I'd just like to point out what a jerk Gunner is. That Dante was nice enough to come on the show, and Gunner still made him read the birthdays with dead people in it.
Well, that's still a gare for around this place.
So I'd like to make a game, by the way. For those of you on Twitter that are listening to this show, I would like you to tweet how many people off the birthday lists every week that we read are actually not with us anymore. I understand that we're pretty much terrible people for bringing this up. I mean, it's still their birthday. I understand, and we're still trying to celebrate it because, even with all the videos, they're still with us. And I'd like to encourage that sentiment. And it's not like we're sitting here being cold, heartless pricks, saying, we're too sensitive to fucking, not bring up the people that are dead on their birthday. When in all actuality, it's perfectly fine to do that. But to make a little game out of it, tweet us how many people that we've read this week are dead. I pretty much have an idea of everyone that's dead on that list right now, I think. Might turn into some sort of prize thing. I don't know, maybe like, a fake championship belt similar to the Woo Championship. Just saying.
I was thinking maybe
a serious dead person belt.
We've had weirder suggestions on this show.
Even the concept is hilarious.
I like this guy.
I'm just imagining who would be like on the center of the belt, like what precisely.
You know exactly what would be in the center of that belt. It would be a turnbuckle. That's what would be in the center of that belt.
No, it wouldn't be. It would be a black figure. It would be a black figure. It would be a sensor bar.
I knew it would be like someone would make an Owen joke. I just didn't want to be that guy.
That's okay.
Hell, I was about to make a Benoit joke, for crying out loud.
When nobody else will be that guy, I will be that guy.
Well, I already made a Benoit joke. Benoit jokes, for some reason, easier than Owen jokes. I guess it's because of the whole, like, Who?
It's
Benoit?
people...
Who's that guy? That works. That's funny.
Alright.
And now it is time for This Week in Wrestling with Omega BR.
The hell are you people talking about? Yes, this weekend. Wrestling history, circa 1991, where WWE holds their SummerSlam pay-per-view at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Billed as the Match Made in Heaven / the Match Made in Hell, the show actually ended with the wedding of Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth, which went off without incident as WWE gave their viewers a happy ending to the show, instead choosing to do an angle with Jake Roberts and Savage at the wedding reception, which would air on television the following weekend. Jump to 1991, where Sting defeats Steve Austin in a tournament final for the WCW US Heavyweight title in Atlanta, Georgia. The title had been vacated when Lex Luger won the WCW World title. The brackets for the one-night tournament were bizarre, as there would have been 6 wrestlers in the semifinals and 3 wrestlers in the finals before the heyday of 3-way matches, if the tournament wasn't booked with a draw and a double disqualification in the first round. And in 1994, a pivotal moment in the history of wrestling as Eastern Championship Wrestling becomes Extreme Championship Wrestling during a show at the ECW Arena in South Philadelphia. The show was based around a tournament to crown a new NWA World Champion, which current ECW Heavyweight Champion Shane Douglas won, but threw down the NWA belt and proclaimed himself the ECW World Heavyweight Champion. The NWA, represented by the late Dennis Coralluzzo, was left confused by the name change, having been legitimately swerved by the whole angle, to the point that Coralluzzo even taped an interview for their television program afterward. And that was This Week in Wrestling History.
Okay, we're gonna do Happy Trails here. I've only got one this week. Happy Trails to I Come From Money. Ted DiBiase Jr. revealed this week that he was not re-signed with WWE, hoping to focus on new things, including fatherhood. So, Ted DiBiase Jr. walking away from the company.
That's doing the right thing.
To be expected. I mean,
it's not like he was doing anything.
Especially when you've got Maurice as a mother. Yes, focus on that. Hubba hubba.
Maurice as a mother. You realize Maurice is being Miz, right?
What? I thought she was
Dude. Oh my God, you're totally. Oh wow. Okay. Just remember, everyone, that Maurice and Ted DiBiase were together as a quote couple on TV. Chester, do you know the difference between reality
somewhere? Somebody get that clip from the Russo timeline where he talks about people believing it's real.
Anyways, what should we watch this week in wrestling? We know what Chester needs to watch.
I'll just pick this up real quick and say that I'm still enjoying the hell out of the ECW Unreleased number 2, but I found, thanks to our friends in Woo, this Japanese knockoff of Extreme Makeover Home Edition, where they take the old New Japan Pro Wrestling Dojo and totally replace it with a modern building that is absolutely amazing. Go look that up if you want. I had fun watching that. No reason why you shouldn't either.
Yankum, what should we watch this week in wrestling? We can't hear you because your microphone is muted.
Watch last night's Divas match. How about that? You know why?
The pipe bomb.
Fuck you, that's why.
The pipe bombshell, the right bomb, whatever you want to call it.
Don't what should we watch this week in wrestling?
See, I want to recommend the ECW Unreleased, because I guess for me that's a little historical, because I'm from that region. My dad used to go back and watch NWA matches when they were Eastern Championship Wrestling over at the arena next to Tony Luke's in Philly. So I'm kind of from around ECW country, so this DVD is really neat, watching that history, seeing matches that are about as old as I am. But I'm going to say, honestly, just Raw didn't have any real standout matches, and it's not looking like SmackDown's going to either. So I'm going to say watch the Vince Russo timeline shoot. It's hysterical. You can learn about what you just to get inside of his head. It works just fine. Like, it's the quintessential Russo shoot. It's him justifying all his stupid bullshit and all of his not so stupid bullshit. And you might even find yourself agreeing with him or partially agreeing, and that's what I'd watch.
Oh my god, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
Well, since WWE is apparently interested in Prince Devitt, how about you watch Prince Devitt versus Kazuchika Okada from the recent G1 Climax that happened very recently. I believe that match, as most of them usually are, is on YouTube.
Is like the entire Climax? I missed a lot of it.
I'm not sure. You know,
I think you'll probably find the whole thing, which is exactly what I'm going to suggest watching.
Yeah,
which is a great example of Japanese wrestling at this point, involving a whole bunch of people that are really, really good. And if you want to see good Japanese wrestling and you would like to start somewhere, the G1 Climax is exactly where you need to be. All right, so
I was just going to make a little plug for Shelton Benjamin, also doing more in one match than he ever did in WWE. If you're a big Shelton Benjamin mark, this is the tournament for you.
All right. So that's it for this week in wrestling. And that's it for the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening. I'm going to do some plugs here. SmartSnark.com. That's our main home base. That's where we emanate from weekly, from Tuesday nights, from the Spreaker network of shows. You're probably listening to us on Spreaker right now, and if you are, thank you. If you're listening to us via download, that's awesome too. We appreciate that. You could check us out, and YouTube. Thank you. You can check us out, smarksnark.com. Our Facebook is facebook.com/smarksnark, and our Twitter, which myself and Yankum tweet on it occasionally for Monday Night Raw and a few other things too, is twitter.com/smarksnark. Please follow us and tweet at us, and remember, how many dead people did we say this week in the birthdays? Okay, so that's it. And for myself and for everybody else, I'd just like to say,
yeah, we had this problem last week too.
Yeah, man. You know,
you don't know what you got till it's gone.
I guess.
No.
Or something like that. I had something a couple weeks ago that I wanted to stick with, but I totally have forgotten what it is.
I think we're good with good night, and thanks for listening.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
Good night. Good fight.